Hey guys, it's Sim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 6th of March, 2022 to talk about everything that went down tonight at AEW Revolution. I thought overall the show was really good, but here's my one thing. There are a couple matches I didn't really care for. And I almost don't even remember most of the pre-show. Good thing I got notes here because this show felt long. If you watched from start to finish, pre-show to end of main event, it was over 5 hours. Or right at the 5 hour mark because it started, let's see, let me do my math here. No, it's 5 because it started at the 4 p.m. Pacific time and it went to 9. That's 5 hours. It was a 5 hour show from start to finish. So... oof. Like, honestly, if I didn't have notes, I plumb forgot who won between Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander, and that was a 10-minute match. Like, holy crap. So that was my one big thing coming out of the show, was that, to me at least, and I did talk with some other people like Baby Huey, felt long. Show felt damn long. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/PWU Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PWU Unlimited. It's YouTube Pro Wrestling Unlimited. You guys don't know how busy my day has been. I've been doing 60,000 things all day, and I'm not going to end. I'm not going to bed tonight, probably till tomorrow night. Because, you might want to follow twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy because in the middle of the night, I don't know when, but sometime tonight in the middle of the night, there may be just some random stream that you may want to check out. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. There may be some random 4 a.m. stream that you guys may want to check out. Just saying. Can't say anything else. With that, if you are watching here on Twitch, you can help us out in the live chat with a super chat. No, K Ballard. Unless my notes are wrong, I put Layla Hirsch won. K Ballard says, Statlander, Tim. No. Unless my notes are wrong, and I will even check the Wikipedia page. Wikipedia, AEW Revolution. Revolution 2022. Yeah, Statlander did not win. Layla Hirsch did win. So that just proves my point that this show felt long. I was saying, my notes aren't wrong. I put Layla Hirsch. I went to the wiki. It says Layla Hirsch. So you wrong, K Ballard. Anyways, if you are watching on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of 2 different ways. You can subscribe either with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel that you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it if you subscribed right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, Amazon Prime, you take that, take a Twitch, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, like right now, Madden 22. Free stuff 4 games, like Fall Guys. Or, like I just stated, that 1 free subscription. But even if you don't pay for Amazon Prime and you know somebody that does, it doesn't have to be your account. Whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, your dog walker, your milkman, if you still got one of them, your landlord, your mailman, the Amazon guy that dropped off your brand new Kyle Larson hat. Yes, I just got a new Kyle Larson hat today. I can show you right now. Ouch, bada bing, bada boom. Waiting for the Kyle Busch one to go back in stock that matches. But with that, any of them people got Amazon Prime, you just go, hey, can I have your Amazon Prime account, your info? Doesn't cost you anything extra. I want to link it to my Twitch, and then I want to support some cool creators. 1 a month, PWU Unlimited. But on the flip side, if you're watching over on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Remember, All super chats do get read live on the air. And if you hit that join button down below, you become a channel member and part of the Unlimited Army. As part of the Unlimited Army, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. You want a leg reveal pancake? You don't want to see this. I wear socks and shoes all the time. Look at that tan line. Look at that damn tan line. You want a leg reveal? By God, as Jim Ross would say with that damn shoe tan line, that sock line. Anyways, whoo! I'm running a mile a minute all day today. You guys are going to get a good one. Remember, Twitch, hit that subscribe button. YouTube, hit that join button, or head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. You'll get all them same perks over there. Plus, remember, go to the Epic Game Store. By going to the Epic Game Store and buying a game, also, I want to see something really fast. By going to the Epic Game Store and buying games like Sifu, Rainbow Six Extraction, or Elden Ring, you can use code PW Unlimited. My buttons are still not working. I can't put the graphic on the screen for that one. You can use code PW Unlimited. I'll ask you for a creator code at checkout, and you can support us right here, PW Unlimited, over on the Epic Game Store, or if you're playing Rocket League, or if you're playing Fortnite on your PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch, it'll ask you over there as well if you have a creator code, and you do. Again, it's PW Unlimited. My Epic Game Store does not want to load. I wanted to see if maybe 2K22 was going to be available on there. Here we go. Is WWE 2K22 available on the Epic Store or only Steam? I don't know. Let's search it. WWE on the Epic Store. No, it is not. Never mind. It's only on Steam. Creator code PW Unlimited. But with that, we've got a show to talk about. A big old pay-per-view that had 12 matches in 5 hours. Oof-ah. But with that, the show kicked off with the pre-show, or as they call it, the buy-in. And it was Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander in a 10-minute match. Statlander hit a backbreaker right away. Hirsch countered a springboard and beat Statlander down. Out on the floor, Hirsch trapped her opponent's arm behind the steel steps and drop-kicked the steps into it. She continued to target Statlander's left arm until the latter hit a power slam for a 2. Hirsch cut off Statlander on the top rope, trapping her in a tree of woe and attacking her defenseless opponent. She went for the cross-arm breaker, but Statlander countered into a cradle. Can't stop burping. Hirsch slipped out of a springboard, but Statlander recovered well by turning it into a body slam. They traded strikes in the center of the ring before Statlander won the exchange with the backbreaker. They fell to the floor as Hirsch reversed a Big Bang Theory into a Hurricane Rana. Back in the ring, Hirsch hit an Olympic slam and a German suplex bridge for a 2. Statlander at one point almost hit an inverted powerbomb for a 2. Hirsch then rolled to the floor, picked up an extra turnbuckle from beneath. The little, they call them the turnbuckle thing. They're the actual like things that the hook got the hook on it. I don't even know how to explain. It's got the part that's got the hook that holds the ropes and to the post. Yeah. Grabbed that from under the ring. She struck Statlander with it. She then landed a step-up lion salt and picked up the victory. Layla Hirsch defeats Chris Statlander. Going forward on the pre-show, we had a Don Callis promo that made me think, oh, Kenny Omega? Tonight? No Kenny Omega tonight. Tony Schiavone was in the ring saying that AEW has a special guest tonight and Kenny's music plays. But out would come Don Callis. He said the crowd doesn't get an Omega tonight, get any Omega tonight, but instead they will listen to him. He said the fans should be thankful for Omega's world title reign, but instead they just begged him for more. Turnbuckle Rod, thank you, Fonzie. Callis insulted tonight's card, but he said it'd be a great night anyways because the Young Bucks were going to walk out the tag champs. He said since Omega's not here, Callis is confident that Adam Cole will be the next AEW World Champion. And He'll be a fantastic transitional champion until Omega makes his big return. Then we had Taz join commentary for Hook versus QT Marshall. Mr. DJ Pancake, we used to have a Discord. It got way too toxic with just people wanting to fight and argue all the time. I've been thinking of maybe restarting it and making a new one, but I'm still on the fence because it was more work than it was worth, to be honest. It was always people arguing, people wanted to say bad things about other people, and then Nick and I would just get message after message. Can you ban this person? Hey, can you ban this person? Hey, I don't like this person. Can you ban them? And that's like, it way more than we wanted. It was just too much work for what it was worth. But I have thought recently about maybe redoing it. But with that, going forward, Hook, QT Marshall. Hook took QT down and locked on a bow and arrow right away, forcing QT to the ropes. He laid in some strikes in the corner, followed by a T-bone suplex, before sending QT to the floor. QT attacked Hook's throat to gain control. Also, did I say 4 minutes, 45 seconds or so for this match, roughly. Hook countered a pump kick into an exploder on the floor. Back in the ring, QT grabbed the trunks and sent Hook face first into the turnbuckle. A suplex and an elbow drop followed, but it only got a 1 count. Hook came back with a Northern Light suplex and a bridge for a 2. QT poked Hook's eyes and landed a back suplex, but Hook stopped QT from hitting the top rope move by bouncing off the ropes and dropping him down. Taz then kind of took a shot at production here because Excalibur's like, oh, it looks like Hook swept the legs and knocked QT off. And Taz goes, oh, no, Excalibur. They just missed the whole shot. Hook bounced off the ropes, knocking him down. I was like, thank you, Taz. Thank you, Taz. That wasn't the only time Excalibur tried to save somebody from messing up or whatever. Because later on, Aubrey Edwards just literally watches Anna Jay waffle Jade Cargill with the chair, and she's like, does nothing about it. And freaking, we see that she sees it, and I'll talk about this later. Excalibur's like, oh, the referee totally didn't see that. Yeah, she did. Anyways, back to this. Hook knocks him off the top rope. Hook then lands an overhead throw. QT walks right into the red rum and taps out immediately as he takes him down to the mat and locks in the legs. Grapevines him. Fun match. This crowd loved them some damn Hook. Next up, we had a 6-man tag team match that went 18 and a half minutes and felt like it was so long. This match felt way longer than 18 minutes. I thought this match went 20. And then I looked at my watch when I was timing it, and I go, nope, that's 18 and a half. I thought this match went over 20 minutes. This match just kept going and going. It was fun, but it went long. Just like the other 6-man tag team match we had tonight. It just never ended. I mean, it eventually ended, but it felt like it was never going to end. So, this wasn't the first time we've seen Eric Redbeard, and Excalibur messed up and called him Eric Rowan. Eric Redbeard in AEW, but it's the first time we've seen him in an actual match. Now, we can confirm he's not all elite because Tony Khan didn't send out a graphic. He sent one out for Swerve and William Regal, but not Eric Redbeard that I saw. The Pack in Black started off the match. The former booted the latter in the face, forcing him to tag Matthews when Penta tagged in as well. Penta sent Matthews to the floor with a Hurricane Rana, but Matthews met him on a dive attempt. They had a rapid-fire exchange and wrestled to a stalemate. The crowd wanted the big men in, and the big men obliged. They traded some tackles and shoulder blocks. No one went down until finally they started striking each other as the House of Black took out Redbeard's partners. Redbeard landed a drop kick and almost a baseball slide before taking out the rest of the House of Black on the floor. House of Black's numbers advantage overwhelmed Penta after he tagged in. They attempted to isolate him on their corner, but he escaped to reach Pack. He then took out Matthews with a quick kick combo. He climbed the ropes, but Black distracted, allowing Matthews to hit a draping DDT. King then tagged in and hit just a monster chop, and the crowd was buzzing after hearing it. Like, it sounded loud. House of Black beat down Pack with frequent tags. He finally reached Penta, who ended the match on fire, taking out all 3 members of the House of Black. Black and Matthews got sling blades, and a Cazadora on the former led to a destroyer on the ladder for a near fall. Penta wanted the fear factor, but Matthews countered. Redbeard got the blind tag, however, came in with a somersault senton. He had a modified cutter on Black, but Matthews came in and broke up the pin. Got a parade of big moves, concluding with Pac rolling Black up for a 2. Pac hit a poison rana on Black, but was leveled by a lariat from King. At one point back in the ring, the Death Triangle got the heat on the House of Black, with Pac landing a Fosbury flop on Matthews. Penta wanted the Made in Japan on the apron, but Black fought out of it. Penta recovered and hit the Fear Factor on the apron. In the ring, Black hit Pac with a spinning heel kick. Redbeard tagged in and faced off with both Black and Matthews. He dispatched the former and caught a dive from the ladder, but ran into a spinning heel kick. Redbeard struggled to fight to his feet, and it's like all the members of House of Black are just hitting him with moves, and the rest are standing there going, okay, cool. Yep. It's like, who's the legal fucking man? Oh, Malachi Black. So, ain't he the only one that's supposed to be doing moves? It's not like, oh, someone tagged out and so they got 5 seconds. No, they're just all hitting moves on him, on freaking Redbeard. And finally, Redbeard goes for the choke slam. He gets sprayed in the face with the mist. King then hit the Fire Thunder driver and picks up the victory. So, the match felt really long to me. A little bit much at the end, and there's a lot of matches like that where they overbooked the end, where I felt like the matches were good and then they just tried to do too much too quickly at the end, like they were rushing. And yeah, because it felt like the last couple of minutes in this match, it was like, oh, you guys got 2 minutes. We got to go home, hit all your stuff really fast. So, Jim Ross then comes out to end the pre-show, and we move into the main card where it kicked off with Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho. And this was a very physical, hard-hitting match. And one of not Jericho's best match in AEW since that world title match with Cody in 2019. Yeah, I'm going all the way back there. And for sure, probably one of, if not the best Eddie Kingston match I've ever seen. So Kingston dumped Jericho right on his head with a half-and-half suplex immediately. There's a hanging neckbreaker followed by hanging neckbreaker followed, but only got a 1. Out on the floor, Jericho sent Kingston into the barricade. He acted very heelish, flipping off the crowd. Kingston hit an enziguri, but that just fired up Jericho. So they traded chops. Kingston pulled down the straps of his singlet for maximum effect, I guess you would call it. Jericho fought out of some machine gun chops with an eye poke, but Kingston returned the favor with a DDT for a 2. Kingston sold his vision as far as like being like, I can't see out of my eye, and Jericho took advantage with some corner lariats. There was some more cheating. Jericho exposed the turnbuckle. Kingston came back with an exploder suplex, and they fought on the apron where Jericho suplexed Kingston straight to the floor. Also, I didn't mention, the first thing we saw in this match was German from Kingston that completely, half and half suplex, that completely landed Jericho. Like, here's the top of Jericho's head. Oof. I thought Jericho was hurt. But he went on with the match, no problem. Jericho suplexed Kingston straight to the floor. Back in the ring, Jericho avoided a spinning back fist and hit repeated Germans. The last of which saw Kingston land on the top of his head, as we saw earlier with Jericho. Then a lion salt followed for a near fall. Jericho at one point countered a Northern Lights suplex bomb into a code breaker for a good near fall. He hit a German and another code breaker. Kingston fired up and hit two. Kingston fired up and hit 2 Urankins before locking on the stretch plum, and Jericho tapped out to pick up the victory. And so they ring the bell, and the referee pulls him off of Jericho, and he's like, wait, I won? The match is over? I actually won? And I was like, yep, you did. After the match, Kingston goes over to Jericho, extends the handshake. Jericho said, if I win, I'll give you the handshake. Jericho didn't do it. Jericho teased it, pulled his hand back, and just walked off. So Jericho, we may have just seen the full-on heel turn of Chris Jericho. Because, you know, Jericho was a heel when AEW first started. Then he turned babyface with the MJF stuff, and I think he's going back heel with the whole not wanting to actually give the handshake here. So I think Jericho's going heel again. Next up, we had the triple threat match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Went 19 minutes, and another match that I thought was overbooked at the end, where they probably were told, you got X amount of minutes, you got to get your shit in, let's go. Because the end of this match was boom, 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 boom. Oh, by the way, it's over. Like, it's just, all of a sudden, they went mile a minute to try and get everything in, and then the match is over. And that was a number of matches, like I said here tonight, were either A, or overbooked, or B, the finish felt rushed, like they were trying to do too much, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh crap, we gotta get it in, we gotta finish. So the rules here were 2 in at a time. 2 from any team. Didn't matter. O'Reilly and Jungle Boy started off the match, with the former gaining the advantage and tagging in Fish. The Bucks entered the match, with Jungle Boy dispatched them both with a rope walk arm drag. Luchasaurus chopped down everyone, but Red Dragon saved Nick from a chokeslam. Jungle Boy then dove onto the pile, wiping out all 4 opponents. Red Dragon and the Bucks worked together for a little while to regain control. They were kind of cohesive, but they still had some kind of, trouble working together. Like they did, but they didn't, and there was miscommunication and whatnot. And they worked well together until dismantling Jungle Boy until the Bucks wanted to tag, and Red Dragon opted to work on their own, not letting the Bucks in. The Bucks got a blind tag, and O'Reilly took out Jungle Boy with a comeback lariat on the floor, then Fish wiped out Luchasaurus from the apron. O'Reilly broke up a pin attempt from Matt, leading to the former inadvertently hitting the ladder with a boot. And when he broke up the pin, Jim Ross said something like, O'Reilly out here getting stuff done. And I'm like, really, JR, over here with the O'Reilly's joke. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Ow. Anyways. Luchasaurus tagged in and landed a corner attack on all 4 opponents. Both Bucks got high kicks, and Red Dragon got an apron moonsault to the floor. Luchasaurus continued by his assault by chokeslamming O'Reilly onto Fish and landing a standing moonsault on Matt Jackson for a 2. At one point, Red Dragon stacked Jungle Boy up in an assisted German for a 2. Fish hit an avalanche exploder suplex, and O'Reilly landed a diving knee to Jungle Boy's leg before locking on a knee bar. Fish landed a diving headbutt on Jungle Boy, and O'Reilly reapplied the hold, but Matt broke it up with an elbow drop. This didn't go well. Kyle O'Reilly. Nick started a nice run of offense here, but was cut off by Luchasaurus, who hit a chokeslam. O'Reilly got the big man in a guillotine, which Jungle Boy broke up with a shooting star press. I really like this spot. Luchasaurus then covered, but Nick Jackson broke up the pin with a 450 splash. Matt grabbed the title, but O'Reilly used the distraction to hit Jungle Boy with it for a near fall. Red Dragon then hit a high-low for a good near fall, with Luchasaurus breaking up the pin. The Bucks hit super kicks on Fish, Jungle Boy, and O'Reilly before Nick landed a step-up dive to Luchasaurus on the floor. There's a BTE trigger, but O'Reilly broke up the pin for another good near fall. Getting down to the finish here, when things just started going a mile a minute, the Bucks wanted more bang for your buck. Jungle Boy countered and hit a German suplex. Luchasaurus then landed a step-up dive onto the pile, and Matt rolled Jungle Boy up for a close near fall. But then Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus hit the thoracic. I always mess this word up. Thoracic Express. Pick up the victory. So with that, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships. I want to say thank you to Mr. Bangs You for the Prime subscription. Really appreciate that one. Next up, Taz joined commentary again because his guys were in this match. It was the face of the Revolution ladder match. It was Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and Christian Cage. And I'm not a big fan of Taz doing the whole Orange Cassidy stole my gimmick. And then someone on commentary every time's got to go, what gimmick's that, Taz? And he goes, Orange. I'm like, no, Taz, no. Back in the day when Taz was on commentary on SmackDown and Kane would wear the towel over his head and Taz would go, Kane stole that from me. I was the first one to do the towel over the head to hide my face thing. That was funny back then. But the whole, he stole my gimmick, Orange, doesn't really do it for me. So, I thought this ladder match was better than last year's, even though not all the spots were perfectly done. But it seemed more well laid out than last year, and actually more brutal than last year's ladder match. So, of course, the winner of this match does get a title shot for the TNT Championship against the winner of the match on Wednesday between Sammy Guevara and last year's ladder match winner, Scorpio Sky. And the winner of that match will face the winner of this match in 2 weeks at St. Patrick's. What was it? St. Patrick's Day Smash or whatever it's called. Hold on. I have the graphic right here. It is St. Patrick's Day Slam. They do so many Smash and Slam shows. I don't get them. I get them all mixed up. Anyways. So, 3 big men, Hobbs, Lee, and Wardlow, sent the little guys packing right away. Orange re-entered right in between all the big guys. He's like, oh, the big hosses are all left in the ring. Who's going to do what first? And then Orange Cassidy pops up and like, oh, no, Orange. And I think that's where Taz did the whole stole my gimmick thing, the Orange. I don't remember. It was either there or during his entrance. I don't remember. This was 4 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago. Anyways, Orange re-enters and lands soft kicks on all the men. And then hopped on their backs to try and reach the brass ring. Christian Cage grabbed a ladder, took out most of everybody at ringside. Starks set one up in the ring, but was pulled down by Orange, who landed a hands-in-pocket dropkick before making his way up the ladder nonchalantly. Christian stomped in and sent both Orange and Starks to the floor. Hobbs climbed, but Christian stopped him and hit a reverse DDT off the ladder. And I think they said at this point this was Christian's 22nd ladder match in his career. Wild. That's spanning WWE, TNA, and now here in All Elite Wrestling. Remember, he was in some of them King of the Mountain matches. Oh, man, I love King of the Mountain matches. But he was in a few of those King of the Mountain matches in TNA as well. Lee then re-enters and leapfrogged over both Starks and Christian before taking them out with a crossbody. Got an Orange Hurricane Rana and used him as a weapon. Lee climbed, but Wardlow challenged him to fight, so he got down. Hobbs took them both out with a ladder strike, but then he faced off with Starks. They raced to the top, but Orange disrupted the ladder and sent them crashing to the mat before helicoptering the ladder. Wardlow and Lee then stopped Orange's flurry. Hobbs trapped Lee behind the ladder and tossed Orange into it. He then superplexed Orange off the ladder, perched in the corner. Christian speared Hobbs on a ladder bridge. Starks dove through a ladder and took Christian out with a spear, but Wardlow cut off his climb attempt. Just Wardlow in the ring climbing. He continued to climb, even with Starks and Orange on his back. Hobbs met him at the top, and Lee set up another ladder, and all 6 men climbed. Orange, Christian, Lee, and Starks all fell, leading to Wardlow and Hobbs meeting at the brass ring. Teed off on one another before crashing to the canvas themselves. Lee threw Orange and Starks and Christian to the floor. He overshot, and that looked brutal. He then sent Lee and Hobbs to the floor as well. 3 big men fought up on the ramp with Hobbs and Wardlow working together over by the announce table. They then ripped apart a ladder with Hobbs using his half of the ladder to attack the other big men. Hobbs and Lee fought, like I said, over by the announce table, but Wardlow tackled them both off the stage. Back in the ring, Starks hit Christian with a low blow, climbed the ladder. Wardlow re-entered, but then Danhausen would appear and cursed Starks and pulled Starks off the ladder. And this made no sense. So Ricky Starks gets pulled off the ladder by Danielson. And then he just kind of leaves, and Starks climbs right back up the ladder. I don't get it. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Oh, we got Danhausen on the pay-per-view. They said he's helping Orange Cassidy. Did he really? Because he pulled Ricky Starks down, disappeared, and Ricky Starks just climbed right back up. Case climbed the ladder at one point as well, but Wardlow cut him off with the powerbomb. Wardlow box jumped his way onto a ladder bridge and powerbombed Ricky Starks, where Ricky Starks looks like he landed hard on the back of his neck. Like he folded. Wardlow then climbed, unhooked the brass ring, and picked up the victory. To be honest, this was the only way that he could have gone. I think Wardlow winning was the only way to go. Also, I think Wardlow winning the TNT title is the only way to go as well. It's either Wardlow wins the TNT title or MJF screws Wardlow out of winning the title. It can't just be, oh, whoever's the champ, whether that's Sammy Guevara or Scorpio Sky, pinned Wardlow. Either Wardlow wins or MJF screws him for what happens later. Going forward, Tony Schiavone says that they got a new acquisition that they want to announce. Last year, Revolution, they announced a big one with Christian Cage. They got another one tonight. And they announced Swerve Strickland. The graphic just said Swerve Strickland. And he came out and he signed his contract. Schiavone welcomed him to AEW. They both said that how great it's going to be to work together again, because remember, they were both in MLW. With Schiavone announcing there. Swerve was a big time name over there. And then Swerve grabbed the mic and goes, I got a question for everybody. Whose house is it? And everyone said, Swerve's house. And he said, no. Whose house is it? And they all said, Swerve's house. And I'm like, cool. Last time they did this, it was Jay Lethal. Where's Jay Lethal been? On Dark. So last time they pumped up some big signing like this, it really wasn't that big of a signing in retrospect. So hopefully they use Swerve better than they use Jay Lethal, because that's the first thing I thought of. Last time they did this with Tony Schiavone saying, we got a big announcement. We got a big acquisition signing their contract tonight. And it wasn't really that big of an acquisition because they never got used as a big acquisition. So hopefully Swerve gets used as a big acquisition. I mean, at least Jay Lethal got a title match right away. We don't know what Swerve's getting. It ain't a title match. They already got that TNT title booked up for the next couple of weeks. Next up, we had a match that just, oh my God, was not good. It was the TBS title. Jade Cargill, Ty Conti. I did like Jade's gear. Jade came out as Jade from Mortal Kombat. But this match was just clunky. This match was disjointed. And I just, didn't like it. And I got to rip on frickin' Aubrey Edwards again. We'll get there in a moment. So Conti got in Jade's face early on, so Jade kissed her for some reason. I didn't get this at all. I'm like, what, huh? You just kissed her? Why? Jade then immediately went for the Jaded, but Conti fought out and locked in an armbar. Neither woman could establish an advantage early on until Conti hit judo throws and pump kicks, followed by a swinging DDT. Out on the floor, Jade floored Anna Jay at ringside with the pump kick. Back in the ring, Conti rolled Jade up for a close 2. Jade then so Jade gets knocked down. She then gets smacked in the head by Anna Jay with a chair, right? And as she hits it, camera pans up. And you see Aubrey just looking with a look on her face like, did I just see what I think I saw? Kind of look on her face. And Excalibur goes, oh, and Anna Jay just hit Jade in the head with a chair, but the referee didn't see it. No, Excalibur. We all saw that the referee saw this. Hey, AEW, rules matter! I know you don't want to do disqualifications, but then don't do things that should be a disqualification and then blatantly go, oh, the ref didn't see it, so it's not a DQ. But then show us in that same moment that the referee did see it. And fucking Anna Jay waffled her because that shot was hard sounding. Like, I don't know if maybe it was because the cameraman was right next to her, but that sounded loud. That chair shot. Jade gets hit in the head with the chair, rolled up for a good near fall. Conti hit a DDT for another near fall. Jade blocked a TKO or Thai KO. KKO. I don't know how to say it. It's spelled Tay, but it's Thai. So I always say Tay when I write it and spell it. And yeah, Tay KO, Thai KO, Tay Conti, Thai Conti, Thai KO. And then hit the Eye of the Storm for a 2 before landing a frog splash. First time we see Jade go to the top rope for another near fall. The distraction from Jade allowed Conti to hit a straight pile driver for a 2. Conti climbed the ropes, but Jade stopped her right in her tracks, hit her with the Jaded, and picked up the victory. I was like, this match didn't need to go 7 minutes. And boy, was this not good. Boy, was this not good. Next up, we had the dog collar match. Probably the best thing of the night. It was 26 and a half, almost 27 minutes. And so CM Punk's music hits. Come see, it's playing. And then all of a sudden it's just cuts. MJF's music hits. And the crowd boos vigorously. They're pissed. MJF makes his way down to the ring and he's sauntering down, taking his time. And then the lights go down. They don't go out, but they kind of go down a little bit. And we hear AFI. The Ring of Honor theme of one CM Punk. Yes, CM Punk came out to his old Ring of Honor theme song. Because, well, they own it now. They can use it. Not only did he come out to his old Ring of Honor theme song, he wore his old Ring of Honor gear. Trunks, the jacket, all the way zipped up. It was awesome. Only thing he was missing was the blonde hair. Hey, you don't want to bleach the hair for the night? Regardless, this was really cool. And they made this really feel like a main event with Justin Roberts not doing the intros till both men were in the ring. I wouldn't say this match was flawless, but I would say it's pretty close to it. It was long. It did feel long, but not long in a bad way. It didn't feel long in a bad way like some of these other matches did. Punk tried to pull MJF in using the chain early, but MJF whipped into Punk's face. Punk was able to hang MJF over the ropes. He then used the ring post as a fulcrum to drive MJF into the turnbuckle. MJF tried to bargain, but Punk wasn't having any of it. Punk landed 10 punches in the corner and wrapped the chain around his fist, but MJF used the chain to tie Punk up and hit a thrust kick and a powerbomb for a 2. MJF countered a running bulldog and from Punk and laid in a chain-wrapped right hand. Punk was then busted open and bleeding profusely. He was gushing. MJF demanded a microphone and got one right away. He told Punk to tell these people that he quits. And Punk told him, eat shit. MJF was about to continue his promo on the ropes when Punk just goes, whew, and MJF goes, ah, crashes straight down to the mat. I thought that was a cool spot. I really liked that. He yanked him down to the mat and then landed a diving headbutt to the groin. Punk hit a chain assist to Russian leg sweep and a diving knee. He landed a corner knee and a running bulldog combination. At this point, Punk was bleeding profusely even more than he was on Wednesday. Didn't think he could, but he did. I don't know what AJ was thinking at home. April's probably sitting there like, oh my God, please be okay. I know you probably are, but God damn it, Phil. Punk whipped MJF with a chain. MJF drug his nails into Punk's forehead and locked in a chain assisted sleeper, much like he kind of tried to do in Chicago. The official gave Punk his 3 chances to regain composure, and Punk did so on the 3rd. He jackknifed over a cradle and forced MJF to break the hold. MJF blocked a GTS attempt and applied a salt to the earth, but Punk eventually countered into an Anaconda Vice. MJF pulled Punk's hair, the little that he has, and rolled Punk up, forcing Punk to break the vice. MJF went for the Heat Seeker. Punk stopped it. He wrapped the chain around his knee and struck MJF with a Shining Wizard, sending him to the floor. Punk then wrapped the chain around MJF's eye and laid in some punches before whipping him into the steel steps. Back in the ring, Punk called for the GTS, but when he went for it, his knee buckled under pressure. MJF got enough energy to wrap Punk with the chain, and he went for a pile driver on the apron. Punk, though, reversed the positioning and hit a tombstone. That move right there was a little clunky, but not too bad. Punk then climbed the ropes and wrapped the chain around his elbow. But MJF avoided the elbow drop and covered for a 2. MJF rolled to the floor and produced a small bag, dumping, well, what do you think in a black bag? Thumbtacks in the middle of the ring. He landed Punk's raising knee strike, but Punk countered the Bulldog out of the corner attempt by biting the hand of MJF. And not just, a little nah. No. To the point where he had the hand, and then MJF's hand's in his mouth, and he goes, oh, no hands, with MJF's hand still in his mouth to show, oh, this ain't some, gimmicked wrestling move. I'm literally got this guy's whole bloody hand in my mouth. His dirty, bloody hand. Because that hand was covered in blood from CM Punk and himself, who was eventually bleeding as well. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Punk wasn't strong enough, though, to hit a suplex on the tacks, but MJF did the same thing. But MJF had the same thing happen. Punk finally took down MJF with a high kick. MJF fought out of a Pepsi plunge attempt off the middle ropes, or top rope, technically. Well, Punk on the top, MJF on the middle rope. He crotched Punk over the turnbuckle before hitting a superplex onto the thumbtacks, got a near fall off of it. The chain became unhooked from MJF's collar, so MJF called for Wardlow while the official put it back on. Wardlow strolled down to the ring, having just won, got a suit on, he's ready to go home, go to the airport or the hotel, wherever he's going tonight. He's gonna party. Go get his accountability buddy, go get some drinks. Anyways, MJF demanded the ring. Wardlow, look in his pocket. I don't have it. Punk then used this distraction to hit MJF with a GTS. With MJF taking an awesome bump onto the tacks, and Wardlow goes, look in the other pocket. Oh, hey, looky. He looks at Punk, just sets the ring down on the apron. Doesn't say, here you go, Punk. Doesn't say, hey, MJF, I found the ring. Just quietly puts it down on the apron. Punk grabs it, puts it on, and he's like looking at it in his hand. And I think it was Excalibur goes, it don't matter what finger you put it on, just put it on. And so Punk goes to pick up MJF, and he spits right in his face. You see that loogie fly. It was a thick one. This pissed off Punk. Punk punches him in the face with the ring, pins him 1, 2, 3. I love this match. I thought this match was a lot of fun, really, really good, and it exceeded my expectations, I will say. For sure. But then that match took Eloise. You were at the show. I need to know, was the crowd actually out of it after the dog collar match? Because in the women's title match, they kind of But then in the Moxley Danielson match, crowd was very quiet for a lot of that. But as far as this women's title match does go, I may have to say awful. Crowd didn't seem like they cared at all. Way too much cheating and interference. Way too overbooked at the end. I may have to say this match was awful, and we're probably going to get it again in 2 weeks, unfortunately, when Thunder Rosa wins the title in her main event. But hear me out here. Hear me out, ladies and gentlemen. I need your guys' opinion in the live chat or the comments below if you're watching later. So, what to a fan, you're not the booker, you're not a wrestler, you are a fan of the product. What do you think seems like a bigger victory and a title win? On a random Wednesday night Dynamite? Yes, in that wrestler's hometown, but on a random Wednesday night Dynamite, or at the pay-per-view? What seems like a bigger victory to you as a fan? Winning the title on pay-per-view or winning the title on a random Dynamite on a Wednesday night? Because that's the route they're going here. I can put a house payment, a rent check on this. The Thunder Rosa's winning in her hometown, unfortunately. Roman Sprinkle says the pay-per-view. Yeah, me too. But Thunder Rosa lost tonight. We'll get into this whole match. She then loses and immediately gets a number one contenders match again against Layla Hirsch. Like, what? Huh? You lost. Back of the line, toots. Back of the line, toots. Jimmy Too Sweet says, I'm going to be going to that Dynamite in San Antonio, so I'm not complaining. Going to be cool to see Thunder Rosa winning in her hometown. I get that. But to the majority of fans, again, the majority of the fan base would say, oh, winning at the pay-per-view, winning the title at the pay-per-view is the bigger deal. I get it. You're going to be there, so that makes sense. You want to see the title win live in person. Cool. But again, you got to think about it as if maybe you're not going to be the one that's going to be there, if you know what I mean. But this match, I couldn't care less for. And the more this match went on, the more I was just wanting to not watch this match. This was that bad. This was not bad. This was that bad. And honestly, Thunder Rosa should have won the damn belt tonight. But let's get into it. Neither woman can establish an advantage early. They performed an extended back and forth sequence. Baker avoided a corner elbow and hit a neck breaker to gain the advantage eventually. Distracted the official while Hayter attacked Rosa. Baker continued to dominate, often using illegal tactics and distractions to maintain control, which there was too much interference from Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Fuck this match. Rosa finally started to make a comeback after a long beatdown with the German. She followed it up with drop kicks. And she hit Baker, drop kicks to Baker's back and then the front. There's a Northern Lights suplex. She got a 2 off of it. Baker countered an Icono Slam into an air raid crash for a 2 of her own. She then hit a pendulum suplex for a 2 before a butterfly suplex. Got 2 more. Rebel passed Baker the glove, locked on the lockjaw. And my first thought was, I get it, it's a latex glove. You can kind of see if there's anything in it. But hey, ref, check if that glove's loaded. You never know. You never know. So, again, Rebel passed Baker the glove, thinking, oh, gonna go for the lockjaw, but Rosa surprised her with running drop kick. So they hit a superplex and floated over into a fireman's carry neck breaker. There's a sliding lariat followed by a 2. Baker fought out of a Fire Thunder driver attempt and hit a neck breaker and an underhook suplex for a 2. They traded cradles for 2 more counts. 2 counts, I think it was. Baker hit an avalanche air raid crash and got a near fall off of it. Rosa went for a tombstone, but Baker countered it. Then Rosa rolled through for another counter, and this was just very clunky. She's like, tombstone, and then like they fell down, and then they rolled around, and then they this and that. And then Rosa hit a tombstone. It looked like Baker really crashed her head onto the thing, and Rebel distracts the ref. And the crowd's chanting, 6, 7, 8. And Jim Ross is trying to count as well or whatever. And finally, Thunder Rosa gets up and knocks down Rebel. Rosa dispatches Rebel before they traded more cradles. Hayter then passes the, forgot to mention this, brand new AEW Women's World Championship. I'll pull up pictures of that belt here in a minute. That's the belt to Britt. And Britt curb stomps Thunder Rosa face first onto the belt. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out at the last millisecond. Baker then went for the lockjaw, but Rosa tried to counter into her own lockjaw. Rosa then turned it into a straight jacket sleeper. Rebel jumps up on the apron. Baker kind of tapping out. She's like, not like you would think, oh, yeah, Thunder Rosa should be winning right now. No, it's more Rebecca going, you know. And so she, I guess you could say, taps out. The referee's distracted once again with Rebel. This then leads to Thunder Rosa saying, screw it, and she spears Rebel through the ropes to the floor off the apron in a cool-looking spot. She then takes Jamie Hayter down with a lariat. She re-enters the ring. Baker curb stomps her and picks up the victory 1-2-3. Way too much interference, way too much illegal stuff. Referee's just sitting there watching half of this. Then the referee gets distracted by Reba Rebel, and then she gets distracted. He gets distracted again. It's like, no, don't get distracted. You get distracted once, whatever. When she tries to jump up again, you say, get your ass out of here. Kick her out. No, he's just up on the apron. Hey, you got to get down. Hey, you got to get down. You got to get down. Hey, yo, you got to get down. You know, you get down. You know, yo. So it's like, no. This match, I'll use the word awful. I hated this match. I did not like this match at all. D'Lo Wee, who was there live, says, too much interference in this match. I wasn't impressed at all about this match, but I was rooting hard for Thunder Rosa. Yeah, I think we all were rooting hard for Thunder Rosa. And I think it's a bad move. I really do. Saying, well, Thunder Rosa didn't win tonight, but we're going to give her another chance. So she's probably winning her hometown. Yes, it's my opinion, Mr. DJ Pancake. But if you look at Twitter, a lot of people had this same opinion, that they thought this match was overbooked and not all that great. But yes, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. So next up, we had a 20-minute match. Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson. And boy, was this match good. Yet, D'Lo Wee, let me know, what was up with the crowd here? There were portions of this match, like a couple minutes at a time, where they were just dead silent. And I don't know if it was that they were just so invested in what these guys were doing that they didn't want, they were just like watching, or was it just like they didn't care? Let me know, D'Lo Wee. You were there live, so you can get a better gauge on the actual crowd than I can just watching on television, you know what I mean? Because to me, it seemed like this crowd just wasn't into it. There's like 3 minutes here, 2 minutes here, 4 minutes here, that it just seemed like at times the crowd just was out of it. But this was physical, and this was technical, and this was really, really fun. But again, like I said, the crowd just didn't seem into it, which did hurt the match itself, I felt, at least on television or on pay-per-view or however you're watching. So the match gets ready to go, and the crowd starts chanting, "We want violence." They performed technical wrestling before spilling to the floor. Back in the ring, Moxley gave Danielson a slap. So Danielson came back with a snapmare and a soccer kick to the back. Ooh, wait, before we talk about this match, thank you, Neil. I want to bring up pictures of the new belt, of the new women's championship match, or the new championship belt. Let's pull up the belt. I just want to get your guys' opinion, show it off here from what we saw. Let's go here. Whoop, wrong button. So this is the new AEW Women's World Championship. And the first thing I thought when I saw this title around Britt Baker's belt or waist was, the Gift of God's belt from Lucha Underground? Was the first thing I thought. Is this the Gift of the Gods belt? And I'm like, that's an interesting looking belt. But actually, it's supposed to resemble the old NWA North American Championship that I think they got pictures of here. Now, see, here's the Gift of the Gods belt. Someone else even said it too. But it's supposed to resemble, I believe, this old North American Wrestling Championship belt that guys like old Magnum TA held. That's what I think this belt's supposed to be referenced of. You know, because it's got the big old circles here, just like if you look at the actual the new belt. It's got the big. Whoop! My mouse just went all wonky. Got the big circles as well. We'll pull up the front shot. Got the big circles as well, which is not overly done like on the other belt. But I think it's all right. I mean, it's whatever. I think it's all right. It doesn't. I guess I'm just used to the other title, so I'm like, maybe the other one looks good to me, but whatever. So, Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson. Chance of we want violence. And Mr. DJ Pancakes says, light mode, you monster? I always use light mode. You're the monster for not using light mode. Anyways, actually, I just go whatever's default when you first set up an app. So like Twitch, dark mode, because that's the default. Twitter, light mode, because that's the default. Anyways, we want violent chants from the crowd. They performed technical wrestling. Danielson hit a snapmare and a soccer kick to the back. Moxley invited Danielson in for a slap, and Danielson obliged, but Moxley came back with hard chops. Moxley laid in strikes, forcing Danielson deep into the corner. Danielson tried to evade with a corner flip, but Moxley took Danielson straight down with a lariat. Moxley laid in mid kicks until one was caught and turned into a dragon screw. Danielson laid in yes kicks and celebrated while Moxley recovered. Danielson targeted Moxley's midsection. A chop woke Moxley up and fired him up until Danielson cut him off with a mule kick. Danielson went for a diving headbutt, but Moxley rolled out of the way. Danielson kept up the attack with a knee lift and a corner drop kick. Moxley started a comeback with a German and then a Saito suplex, but ran into a roundhouse kick. Danielson applied a flying guillotine with Moxley, which Moxley fought out of. He laid in more mid kicks, which just fired up Moxley. Moxley backdropped Danielson to the floor, and both men evaded tope suicidas, leading to a brawl on the outside. Both men hit simultaneous elbow strikes, leading to a double down spot. Eloy, I'm going to read your comment here. I do like that comment. They were both busted open, with Moxley just bleeding everywhere, and Danielson bleeding a little from his side of his forehead, but a little more and more and more and more as time went on. They traded knee strikes to the midsection until Danielson hit a rolling elbow and Moxley turned into a rebound lariat. Now to D. Louise' comment, he says the energy felt like it was, quote, stop and go. I thought the crowd would be going insane the whole time, but the crowd felt flat most of the time to me, except the three-man... the crowd felt flat most of the time to me, except the three-man tag match. You're saying that the crowd got into the six-man, the big old brawl after this? Is that what you're saying? You felt like the crowd finally got back into it after this match? Back to the match. They fought on the top rope where Danielson hit a brutal avalanche back suplex for a 2. Danielson laid in repeat elbows before locking on a dragon sleeper, and Moxley had to reach the ropes to force the break. Moxley locked on a rear naked choke, but then turned it into repeated elbows of his own. He switched to the cross arm breaker, but Danielson turned it into a label lock until Moxley reached the ropes. Both men collapsed their hands and attempted to kick each other in the head. Moxley got the advantage and did so before applying the bulldog choke. Danielson cradled Moxley and hit her regaloplex to break things before landing a Busaku knee for a near fall. Danielson locks on a triangle sleeper. Moxley fought for a long time and rolls up Danielson, traps him where he can't let go. 1, 2, 3. Danielson loses and he gets him, I think it was Bryce Remsburg, who's the referee here. He gets in his face and they start shoving each other. He's like, that's not a 3. What are you doing? Do your damn job, or something like that. And the ref's like, hey, you got pinned. Don't yell at me. And so after the match, things get a little wild. What? Wild. Danielson, again, gets in the official's face. He and Moxley then just go at it again. They start brawling when the referee, I believe, again, like it was Bryce Remsburg, starts calling security and officials, get down here. I can't break these. He's trying to get between them. He's no avail. When all of a sudden, not down the ramp, but coming out the side of the ramp is none other than William frickin' Regal. William Regal comes out, and this place sounds like it went unglued. He just walks right out, got that William Regal, you're fucking up look on his face. He gets into the ring. The mentor of both of these men in the past. He was Danielson's mentor before he was even in WWE. He was Moxley's mentor in FCW. They even had matches against each other. He then gives both Moxley and Danielson each a hard slap. He yells at him and demands they shake hands. We then learn from Tony Khan, William Regal is all elite. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. William Regal is all elite. Which is crazy to think. I don't know how they're going to use him, but William Regal is officially signed to All Elite Wrestling. I mean, we got the graphic right here from the only Mr. Tony Khan. That's legit. Tony Khan tweeted it out himself. AEW Revolution at Real King Regal. William Regal is all elite. And I'm like, so cool, but how are we going to use him? Is he going to be just with Moxley and Danielson? Are they finally going to have an on-screen authority figure? Because we know he's the greatest on-screen authority, or one of the greatest on-screen authority figures that's ever been. Why is the camera now black? There we go. For some reason, didn't want to come back right away. But I'm very interested to see how they use him. I am very interested because my two favorite authority figures of all time are, well, actually three. My three favorite are William Regal, whether that is in WWE on the main roster or in NXT, Dusty Rhodes back in the day in TNA, and Jim Cornette when he was in charge of TNA. I liked all three of them. Regal the most, of course. But even when Dusty was doing the whole run-in TNA stuff early on, I thought that stuff was really good as well. But, William Regal is in All Elite Wrestling, and I don't have any words. So cool. So cool. You gotta love it. Got some lineups for the next 2 weeks of Dynamite. This coming Wednesday, the TNT Championship will be on the line when Sammy Guevara defends against Scorpio Sky. Got a number one contenders match for the Women's World Championship as Thunder Rosa defends against Layla Hirsch. And finally, in 2 weeks, it's St. Patrick's Day Slam. The TNT title will be on the line when the champion, whether that is Sammy Guevara or Scorpio Sky, they'll defend against the Face of the Revolution ladder match winner, Wardlow. Also, the AEW Women's World Championship will be on the line when Dr. Britt Baker defends against the winner of Thunder Rosa and Layla Hirsch. So then we had the tag team match, the Trios Tornado Tag Team match. D'Lo Luis says that, let me see. He said something about this match. He said the crowd became more alive during that match once the wrestlers went into the crowd. Got it. Well, on television, this was a hard match to watch because there was so much going on in so many different places in the building where they would cut and then cut back and then miss something and try to cut back really fast. Like there was a spot where I think it was Sammy and Private Party were fighting, and then they cut to Matt Hardy and Sting and immediately cut back, and then you hear boom, because Sting hits Matt Hardy with a chair, and then they tried to cut back really quick to Sting and Matt Hardy, and they missed the chair shot all together. So this was a little hard to watch on television because they were Kevin Dunn cutting all over the place. But you get the heels in the ring, the AHFO. The heels are in there. The baby faces make their entrance up to the top of the ramp. Darby does the whole like, yeah, he smacks the ramp, and then he just boom bolts down to the ring, slides in, goes for Andrade, clotheslines him over the top rope, and everyone's brawling with everyone. And it was so hard to follow on television. So much stuff going on. Jose started getting involved. Mark Quinn comes down, even though he's not in the match. Then freaking fucking Butcher and the Blade get involved as well. And I'm like, okay, so it's 3, 4, 5, 7 on 3? 7 on 3? Because you've got Andrade, Matt Hardy, both members of Private Party, both members of the Butcher and the Blade, and Jose. 7. Sammy, Darby, Sting. I mean, that would have been nice, but sometimes that's even harder. DJ does stuff. I get what you're saying, because he's saying if you don't see his chat comment, they should have just done picture in picture for the 3-on-3 tornado match. Yes, but that means the picture's smaller. And so, especially when they're fighting in the crowd, it would actually make it harder to see, because like when Sting and Matt Hardy were going up the stairs and everything, it was really hard to see both of them in the crowd of people. So if the screen is even smaller and the picture and the field of view is even smaller, it would be even harder. But again, Darby goes straight after Andrade. Sting dispatches Jose the assistant, propelling him on a chair with a trash can over his body, allowing Darby to take him out. Hardy crashed Darby with a chair shot before Andrade tossed Guevara into the front row. Darby and Guevara suplexed Andrade. Oh, we'll talk about that, Notorious. Hardy and Cassidy isolated Sting in the ring. But Sting popped up and took them both down with trash can shots. Darby hit coffin splashes, and Guevara landed his double jump moonsault on Cassidy. Andrade planted Darby in the corner before Hardy hit a twist of fate on Guevara for a near fall. Andrade went for a springboard to the floor, which Darby sidestepped. Private Party worked together to attack Guevara, and they managed to hit the silly string on the outside. Hardy and Sting brawled in the crowd. But then, the Butcher and the Blade appeared and attacked Sting. Butcher repeatedly swung Darby into a barricade. Then Private Party had Guevara perched on a table on the stage. Guevara then fought back and climbed up top of the stage to meet Isaiah Cassidy. Then one of the craziest spots I've ever seen, and Kim Last Kicker got a great photo of this. I'm going to pull up right here. Spanish Fly off of the stage area right here. And they hit the first table kinda. It slides away and they just land right on the second table that just doesn't break or anything, just flattens. Wild. Referees checking on both of them like they did. Like they completely DEA dead. Mark Quinn comes over and starts talking with them as well. And they're just done for the rest of the match. Butcher the Blade starts setting up a bunch of tables. There's like 4 tables stacked, 2-on-2, and Sting fired up and fought them off. But he was eventually overwhelmed by Andrade and Hardy, who hit a low blow. Darby and Andrade fought on the tables. Hardy got an advantage but collapsed from exhaustion. Sting then jumped off the little balcony looking like freaking, what's her name? Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl, jumping off the roof, just shoo, splashes Andrade through the tower of tables, takes out like 3 of the 4 tables, 1 don't break. Cool. Sting? Tony Khan's gonna let Sting kill himself if he keeps doing shit like this. I'm gonna tell you what. Back in the ring, Darby hits a Scorpion Death Drop on Matt Hardy through a chair. He then follows this up with the coffin drop that misses because Matt's too far out. He does the coffin drop. He jumps and he throws his arm back like this, and his arm like lands on Matt but barely hits him. Then he scurries back, wraps up Matt. 1, 2, 3. Darby picks up the victory here. But little botched finish, but it was all good. Hard to follow the match though, like I said, because there was so much going on and the cameras were cut. And then they get to the spot on the stage with the Spanish Fly and they just stayed there for a minute because they're like, we know what's going to happen here. We got to not miss it. Because if they would have missed that, oh boy. Same with the Sting dive. They almost missed the Sting dive, I felt like. Like they cut right before Sting's splash. They cut to it right before. Like they were probably like, Sting's about to jump. Go. You know what I mean? So they win and it's main event time. I kind of knew who was going to win here, but I expected a little more out of this, especially if there was no post-match anything, no post-match angle or anything. It was really weird. It's AEW, and there's a lot of post-match angles on pay-per-views, but regardless, this match was really good, really solid, and I thought it was effective in what it did, but I kind of expected a little more out of it, to be 100% honest. I also felt like Cole as the challenger was a little rushed, like maybe they had another idea. They couldn't do that, and they slipped Cole in there. But regardless, it was the Battle of the Atoms. At one point, actually like 2 or 3 points, we just go, let's go Adam. Let's go Adam. So early on, the crowd did seem, and D'Lo Week can let me know here, pro Adam Cole early on. Cole laid in some corner forearms and yelled at Paige early, who came back and downed him with 1 strike. Paige drop kicked Cole on the floor and repeatedly sent him into the barricade. Cole then gained control by avoiding a lariat, which sent Paige's arm hard into the ring post. He followed it up by sending Paige into the steel steps. Back in the ring, Cole hit a Ushigoroshi, but only got a 1. He planted Paige with a spinning slam and got a 2 off of it. Every time Paige thought about starting a comeback, Cole would cut him off. Cole hit a feint kick and looked for a Panama Sunrise, but Paige booted him on the attempt. He followed this up with a springboard lariat and a brutal-looking apron powerbomb before landing an Orihara moonsault. Back in the ring, Cole rolled out of the way of a buckshot lariat, but Paige was able to hit a Liger bomb for a 2. Caliber goes, oh, with a nice Liger bomb there. And Jim Ross goes, hey, Excalibur, what's the difference between a Liger bomb and a power bomb? And I'm just sitting there dying. Well, what's the difference between a Liger bomb and a power bomb? He's like, oh, a Liger bomb's one where you kind of got them up there, but you kind of run and then jump with it a little bit. He's trying to explain it to Jim Ross. I about died laughing when he's just like, hey, Excalibur, what's the difference between a Liger bomb and a power bomb? I love it. You gotta love Jim Ross. They fought on the top rope, leading to a great spot where Cole reversed Paige's top rope moonsault with a perfectly timed super kick. Cole tuned up the band like one of his icons and idols and heroes, Shawn Michaels, but Paige hit a deadeye for a near fall instead. They traded strikes in the middle of the ring, leading to Cole hitting a super kick, but running into a discus elbow. Cole turned the follow-up lariat into a crossface, forcing Paige to fight to the ropes. Paige countered Ushigoroshi and hit a tombstone pile driver for a 2. They battered one another like a hockey fight before Paige hit a German suplex and Cole hit a Ushigoroshi for a 2. Cole wanted to go for the Panama Sunrise, but Paige met him at the top rope with a ridiculous moonsault power slam for another 2. Red Dragon then run out and cheer on Adam Cole. Cole used the distraction to super kick Paige before hitting a Panama Sunrise from the apron to the floor, which he threw him back in the ring and got a 2 off of. Red Dragon distracted the official, allowing Cole to low blow Hangman Page and hit a Panama Sunrise and a lower the boom on Page for a close near fall. And then Excalibur let us know, hey, you probably didn't get all of that boom because he didn't pull the pad down. His knee was still padded from the knee pad. So he didn't get the full effect of knee to the head. I liked Excalibur saying that. Cole then hit repeated super kicks, but Page countered the boom into a lariat, and Cole countered the buckshot into a super kick before hitting 2 more, but Page collapsed on Cole's boom attempt, making it impossible for him to hit as Page face first. Red Dragon then set up a table at ringside. And I'm like, oh no, we don't need any of this crap. This match has been so good. Page was the benefactor, though. It allowed him to hit a dead eye off the apron through the table. The Dark Order then came out, and they outnumbered Red Dragon and beat him down until they chased him off. Page then hit a buckshot, but Cole just got his hands on the ropes at the very last second to get the rope break. Page then used one of his belts, or used his only belt on one of his belts. He didn't wear more than one. Page used his belt to tie Cole up to the top rope, symbolic of what they did to him on Dynamite, tying him to the top rope. Cole couldn't really do anything. He then got kicked in the face multiple times before kicking Page back himself and then freeing himself. Page hit a crushing thrust kick and lowered the boom on Cole before the buckshot lariat and picked up the win to retain the AEW World Championship. Dynamite Page is laying there, out, knocked out after the pinfall, and the champ walks up, grabs his arm, shakes his hand, and Excalibur lets us know that's Hangman Page showing some of that code of honor, as these two men both came from Ring of Honor. There was a lot of Ring of Honor references tonight, a lot of Code of Honor references. In the women's title match, they even referenced Deonna Purrazzo as the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. So, are we going to get a Ring of Honor invasion story? Are we going to get a Ring of Honor guys against AEW guys thing? Because they really made me think that tonight. Especially at the end when they were like, both of these men came from Ring of Honor. That is the Code of Honor. You shake your opponent's hand after the match, no matter how much you like or dislike them. Yeah, that was the show. Show went off the air. Show was pretty damn good. It had its flaws like any show, but I thought it was really, really good. But with that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's AEW Revolution. Remember, you can put a super chat in the YouTube chat, or you text 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. But before we go to the chat or the text messages, let's check the polls. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 100% like the show. As far as the Twitter poll, 70% like the show, 17% thought it was just all right, and 2.5% didn't like the show. And finally, the YouTube poll, 74% liked it, 20% thought it was just all right, and 7% did not like the show. As far as text messages do go, got a couple of them here. First says, will CM Punk challenge Hangman for the world title? I mean, you could go that route after he picked up this big win, but you can maybe still do him and CM, or him and MJF, because you can go MJF won Chicago, Punk won Revolution, rubber. There's a rubber. We need a rubber. I don't want to see this feud continue anymore. I felt like this was a good send-off for it, but it's open for possible more. We pull up the next text message here. This is interesting. Someone sent me a tweet. Okay, interesting. So CM Punk was asked about Tony Khan owning Ring of Honor. And basically, CM Punk said, quote, I don't want Vince to own any of my footage. He brings up leaving WWE when there were questions about the WWE Network launch and they had no answers of how he'd get paid. Wow. Really? Really? This other one says CM Punk is emotional over the AFI theme. As he tells Righteous Reg, he's happy that ROH footage is in good hands instead of a shitty app on a tab that doesn't work. You've got to be fucking kidding me, CM Punk. If it's not one thing, it's another. These guys know how to do. Oh, it's one thing. Take shots at WWE. Hey, I watch Peacock every night and never have an issue. I've watched all through George Lopez, watched through all of Married with Children. I'm now going through a run of fucking 2.5 Men, and it runs flawlessly for me. I don't have any issues with Peacock. The cock runs good for me. Next text message. Thank you for linking me to that one, though, Texter. It says, I know Wardlow was going to turn on MJF when he faked losing the ring. He doesn't need anybody. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting on Wednesday what route they go with that. Because maybe they can do, here's my prediction. MJF's always the thing of, you're not signed to Ring of Honor to AEW. You work for me. I own your contract. Well, what if Wardlow goes, okay, well, I got a contract from Tony Khan, so now I work for him. Matt actually says Peacock sucks. Hey, each their own. I watch it on my television every single night. I've got a Hisense TV, and it runs perfectly fine for me. Finally, this last text message says, you ever thought about doing, thought about doing streaming your live reactions for a big pay-per-view live, premium live event or pay-per-view? So, here's the issue with that. If I were to do that, would you be okay with my kids running around in the background, playing video games on the TV right here next to me, all that background noise and stuff? I don't think so. That's why I don't do live watch-alongs, because I got kids. And I don't think you want to hear them in the background arguing with each other, fighting over, I want to play this game, I want to play that game, I want to watch this show, I want to watch that show. You don't want to hear it, guys. You just don't want to hear it. So that's why I don't do live watch-alongs. Because, again, you don't want to hear the kids bickering and arguing in the background, running around playing with their games and toys and stuff. You just don't want to do it. And then I get distracted and have to go deal with them. And usually during the pay-per-view, I'm making dinner at the same time. So then I'm going to be walking off for 10 minutes over here, cooking a chicken or making some taco meat or frying up some bacon for something. If I'm making freaking potato wrap bacon or bacon wrap potatoes and stuff, you know? So it's just not plausible for me, you know? Parent stuff. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and Twitter.com/PW Unlimited. But here's the thing, guys. We're going to have a lot of cool content on the channel tomorrow. PW Unlimited YouTube. It's going to be a lot of cool content. I'm not sleeping tonight. I'm creating content for you guys. And at like 4 a.m., there might be a special stream at twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy that I can't tell you guys about. That you're just going to have to tune in to see. Yeah, that's all I could say legally. But with that, guys, tomorrow, there'll be a lot of new content on the channel. Tomorrow morning, or technically tonight, I might be going live on Twitch. There might not be a wrestling wrap-up tomorrow because I may be doing a special live stream on the YouTube channel at that time. So we'll see how it all does go. I got a lot of cool things planned for tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that. So have a great day, guys. Have a great night, guys. Have a great week as we're getting into a new week. It is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. We got Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. So with that, guys, have a great night. See you next time. Twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Follow it so you know when I go live. Have a good one, guys. All righty then.